So hello my friends, happy Sunday. So if you want to know a team is losing, always listen to the captain. He'll start threatening his mates. Now listen to this one.
Any of my colleagues will abandon the one-term movement at the behest of President William Ruto for the purposes of financial gain or promises or positions. That he'll go alone and he'll not go with the people.
Now from that montage, there are two takeaways. Gachagua is extremely authoritarian and he can't resist the urge to exert his will upon people, including his own superiors like he did with the president. That's a turn-off. And so you may ask yourselves, how did Raila manage to hold the opposition together despite not having the trappings of government? Simple. It's through persuasion and not coercion. Gachagua prefers the latter. The second takeaway is that the Wamunyoro coalition is collapsing. Hence, Kikuyus run the risk of isolation at worst or division at best. And if you doubt my assessment, then listen to Susan Kihika.
Mimi hawezi nitisha. Tangu niwe senator nilisimama na wanaume nikawaangusha. Nikiwa gavana nikasimama na wanaume. Asifikiri nikamama ameona tu. Hiyo mkuzi yake apeleke Wamunyoro. Mkuzi yake apeleke wapi?
Now, let's delve deeper into the looming breakup and its ramifications across the political spectrum. So here's the deal. In reference to the first montage, Gachagua just resuscitated a rumor. He just gave it life. It was already speculated that the president's men were making advances to Kalonzo. And furthermore, it's in the public domain that Murkomen paid a courtesy visit to Natembeya. They discussed politics. And consequently, wrangles in the DAP-K party commenced in earnest. And as if there is not enough, a pocket of Matiang'i's men are overtly urging him to work with the president, Simba Arati included. In politics, nothing happens in a vacuum. There are no coincidences. Gachagua is by default isolating himself and by extension, he's based the Kikuyus. Now, here's a quick one. What are the incentives for Kalonzo to remain in the opposition, yet the greedy Gachagua has already thrown his hat in the ring? Kalonzo has not one incentive at all, but he's still lacking in the fence. No wonder the president's men are ratcheting up the pressure to make him come to the fold faster. Listen to Murkomen. He did this intentionally.
Akamwambia kuja tuunde serikali pamoja. Mimi nilikuwa hapo. Na mnajua mimi ni kijana ya pasta. Na mnajua Kalonzo pia ni wa AIC. Mimi ni wa pasta na Kalonzo ni wa AIC. Na najua hawezi sema uongo. Aliambiwa kuja serikali. Akasema, siwezi kuja serikali.
So the overarching question is, what is Gachagua's political endgame? Because he's in the offense, attacking both friend and foe. Gachagua is doing a gamble that has a 70-30 chance of flopping, courtesy of a clause in the constitution barring an impeached individual from contesting an election. But he's privy to the fact that his problem is a political one, and oftentimes, political problems require political solutions. So here's the point. He knows that if he can radicalize Kikuyus, then they can ramp up the pressure on the system, and maybe, just maybe, the constitution might bend to his will, paving way for him to run for president. But if that fails, Gachagua wants to build a strong political party in its coalition, making him the first among equals, no matter who their candidate for president is. And if his team wins, Gachagua would become the president de facto. That's considering the sheer numerical strength he'd have in parliament, assuming he unites the mountain under DCP. The sitting president would be President Gachagua. Peace.